Okay, so I'm going to start off by issuing a bit of a correction and a clarification, I guess you could say. There's a lot of hype, and I got caught up in it too, about the Jeffrey Epstein client list that's supposed to be coming out soon, like days. Well, it's not really a Jeffrey Epstein client list. It is 80 names of people that are tied to a lawsuit that is being filed involving Jeffrey Epstein. So all these names that we're going to get on this doesn't really mean much, because you're going to have people's names that are listed in relation to the lawsuit, not necessarily the clientele list. Everybody's thinking that this clientele list is coming out. We're going to see who's all in it, and there's people fighting back and forth. Aaron Rodgers was talking trash about Jimmy Kimmel. I mean, it's just kind of getting nuts, but we need to remember this isn't the Jeffrey Epstein client list. But now that that is out of the way, of course, we all knew it. Trump filed his appeal to the Colorado Supreme Court. It's going to go to the federal Supreme Court now, and we're going to watch them overturn that decision. I can almost guarantee it from all the legal people I've talked to and a couple of videos I've watched about it. Yeah, it's not going to stand. So we got that going. Congress is sending a delegation of congressmen down to the border. And I must say that 2023 was the year of get woke, go broke. That is right. DEI is starting to go away. Bud Light, the Bud Light boycott did wonders for our movement here. Our conservatism, I guess you could say. But enough of that. What's up, y'all? How the hell is your day going? I hope y'all are having a pretty good day. If you're new around here, smash that subscribe button for me if you don't mind. We cover political news, keep you up to date on everything going on inside the government. And we also run the mainstream media's news through the logic test. And that's exactly what we're going to get into today, because these people are insane, folks. Alejandro Mayorkas is psychotic. And I believe I can prove it. Now, this is an issue we've discussed before several times because it's a major issue. It affects me personally because I live near the southern border. That's right. Southern border issues. They're constant. And they're only getting worse. They're not seeming to get better. They have been getting worse for 3 years, ever since Biden took office. He has flung the doors open and does not care about illegal migrants coming into this country, or I should say people coming into this country becoming illegal migrants. They do not try to stop these people whatsoever. But let's go ahead and get into the news story because we got a lot to break down, y'all. All right, check this out. Mayorkas accuses Texas Governor Abbott of remarkable failure of governance over busing situation. Now, as we all know, Greg Abbott, along with Ron DeSantis, he's done some help here too. And there's been a few other people involved, but it's been mostly Greg Abbott, the Texas governor, has been busing migrants to sanctuary cities, right? These are cities that they tell anybody and everybody, they'll tell the world, look, hey, if you come into the United States, come to our city and you'll be safe. We won't turn you into the Border Patrol. We won't turn you into CBP. We won't turn you into ICE. You can come here and live your life. So after knowing this, we have a border crisis going on. We have 10,000 people a day coming across that southern border. So, Greg Abbott, knowing that you can't handle that many people in these small border towns, you can't handle that many people in just one area. So what does he do? He asks people, hey, do you want to go to this city? It's a sanctuary city. Would you like to travel there? And they give them a free bus ride to wherever they want to go in the United States. Now, on the surface, that looks like, well, that's nice of them. Instead of kicking them out of the country or throwing them in jail, you bus them somewhere else. How tolerant can you be? But remarkably, these sanctuary cities are now starting to blast Greg Abbott for doing what they asked. It's insane, folks. Check this out now. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas took aim at Texas Governor Greg Abbott on Wednesday, accusing him of a remarkable failure of governance over the current migrant busing situation. During a Wednesday interview on MSNBC's Morning Joe, Mayorkas addressed the growing number of calls for further federal assistance in cities like Chicago and New York to deal with the thousands of migrants being bussed in from Texas. How hypocritical can you be? These people fling the damn doors open. Watch this. They fling the damn doors open, lift the fence, allowing migrants to come into this country illegally. So they're aiding and abetting illegal migration. That is a crime. Alejandro Mayorkas and all of CBP are now criminals. They have committed that crime on purpose. This is not an accident. That them lifting that fence is not an accident. That is on purpose. 10,000 people a day. We have taken action on the border. Yeah. You see the action they're doing. They're opening the border. We have taken action on the border with respect to the challenges that cities across the country are facing. Let me identify one fundamental problem here, Mayorkas said. And that is the fact that we have one governor in the state of Texas who is refusing to cooperate with other governors and other local officials and coordinate efforts to address a challenge that our country, which this country should stand united to address, that our country is facing. And it's remarkable. It's a remarkable failure of governance to refuse to cooperate with one's fellow local and state officials. Sorry about that little tongue twist right there. Mayorkas added that teams have been dispatched to cities like Chicago, Denver, and New York to help deal with the inflow of migrants. Abbott announced on Tuesday that he's bused more than 90,000 migrants to sanctuary cities thus far. Okay, so these migrants that are being bused to sanctuary cities number in 90,000. Now, if you go back earlier in the video when I gave you the numbers for how many people are coming across that southern border every single day, that's 10,000 people coming across that southern border every single day. Now, you do the math with how many people he has bused to sanctuary cities and how many migrants have came across that southern border. Right? He's bused essentially 9 days worth of illegal migrants to sanctuary cities. So guess where all these other illegal migrants are? That's right. They're in Texas. They don't give a damn about the destruction that this illegal migrant crisis is causing. They keep saying migrants and asylees. That's what they call them. But that's not who we're talking about here. We're not talking about people that migrate to this country the legal way. Come in, become a citizen, and then do whatever they do. That's not who we're talking about at all. And they never, ever make that distinction. They always say migrants. Why? Because it blows up their damn narrative. It eviscerates their talking point, essentially. How many of these people do you think Texas can handle? Of course they have to bust these people. And how hypocritical is it for you to get on national television and tell people, hey, we're a sanctuary city. If you come into this country illegally, come here and you will not be arrested. And then bitch at people who are sending illegal migrants to you. How hypocritical can you get, folks? This is what your government is doing. And they're not sending any help whatsoever. These sanctuary cities are crying out for help. We can't handle this. How do you think Texas is handling it? How do you think New Mexico is handling it? How do you think Arizona is handling it? Louisiana, where I'm at. How do you think they're handling it, huh? 10,000 people a day for 3 years. Of course, it hasn't been that many for 3 years. But there's an estimated up to 15 million illegal migrants in this country right now as we speak. How the hell would you handle that situation? If you got some people over here saying, hey, send your illegal migrants to us, what would you do if you were overloaded with illegal migrants? Hell, you would send them. This is completely ridiculous. I've been calling for Alejandro Mayorkas to get impeached. This dude is helping to destroy our country. If you don't live on the border, you don't see it. It's out of sight, out of mind, and you think, oh, well, Greg Abbott's a bitch. They have been absolutely invaded with illegal migrants that come into Mexico, come into South America from all over the damn world. And they're coming in this country by the droves, like I said, 10,000 a day. That is just nuts, folks. And then these people want to try to turn things around. They lift the fence, let them come in, and then say it's his fault. Greg Abbott has no control over the federal border. All he's doing is trying to mitigate the crisis that he's having to deal with. And you got people over here saying, hey, send them to us. And then they want to gripe about it when he does what they told him to do. This hypocrisy is beyond belief, folks. Let me finish reading this story. I think it's almost done. New York City Mayor Eric Adams has warned of the coming budget cuts over the migrant crisis in the city, among other actions he's taken. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson called the situation in his city, where more than 20,000 migrants have been transported to, not sustainable, and especially during the city's harsh winter months. 2 days worth of illegal migrants, and it's not sustainable. How the hell do you think Texas is dealing with it? These people are insane, folks. And I cannot believe Alejandro Mayorkas has the gall to stand up and blame Greg Abbott for his own failure. Like I said, they're lifting the fence, letting them come in. Most of the time, there is no fence. Why? Because Joe Biden stopped construction on the border wall. Just left all the construction material just sitting there. Those were contract jobs. Those contractors got paid for that work, regardless if that work was finished or not, because Joe Biden said stop building the wall. Well, the contract doesn't break just because we get a new president. So our taxpayer dollars are going to pay for material labor for nothing. Joe Biden has wasted so much money. Then he wants to send $61 billion to Ukraine. Another $61 billion on top of the $113 billion that we've already sent. How do you like them apples? This is all just bullshit, and it pisses me off when these people start pointing finger to blame when it's their own fault. Like I said, these people are psychotic if they think that the American people aren't going to notice their hypocrisy. It is blatant. It is wide out in the open, and I am here to point it out if nobody else sees it, because the mainstream narrative machine is doing every single thing they can to help these people. That is evil, folks. These migrants are coming in, and there are cartel members mixed in with them, bringing drugs, trafficking people, fentanyl, all that BS. That's why it needs to stop. That's the main reason. The second reason is our system can't handle that many people. That's why we have a legal migration process. It is set up on purpose to only allow X amount of people into this country at one time, because the people that put those laws into place know you start flooding the system, and the system gets overloaded. And eventually, after that system is overloaded for too long, it will break. And that's what you're looking at right now, folks. Because Joe Biden just said, screw it, we're opening the door, letting them come right on in. And it is breaking our systems. It is breaking people's lives. It is breaking people's property on top of that. Oh, don't leave it to me to tell you. Just all you got to do is go look. Just look up migrant crisis on the border, what some of these people have done. It is insane. I'm sorry to keep ranting. Let's continue. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre dubbed Abbott's ongoing policy a political stunt this week. Right. It's a political stunt. Abbott has defended his efforts, accusing President Joe Biden of pushing open border policies and not putting enough resources toward the southern border amid record crossings. And that's it. Notice they put the rebuttal at the very, very end, so you probably won't make it if you read the story outright. You would have to read the entirety of the story to get the rebuttal. And then they just kept that rebuttal so short that it's not even really a rebuttal. Yeah, it's open door policies. He said a lot more than that, folks. This migrant crisis is really, really bad, and nobody seems to be paying attention to it. And it's like you got Joe Biden and Alejandro Mayorkas over here going, yeah, it's going to destroy that Republican state. It's what it seems like, because they're, oh yeah, the border's secure. Alejandro Mayorkas gets in front of Congress and is like, yes, the border is secure. Lying to Congress. And he's been caught lying to Congress. Where's the accountability for that? Nobody has brought contempt of Congress charges on him. At all. They've tried to bring articles of impeachment, but you got these other Republican motherfuckers that won't do a damn thing about it, won't vote for impeachment because they don't want to get called being political. Oh, it's a political stunt. No, it's not a stunt. Just look at what they're doing. This is all insane, and I'm sorry, it sounds like I'm bitching at you guys, but you know, if by chance Alejandro Mayorkas sees this video, God, I hope he sees this video to see just how pissed off some Americans are about this situation. Because it's bad, folks. It really is. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but Jesus Christ. You let these people come in. They leave their homes to come and be homeless in America in hope of a better life. They're starting to build tent cities and migrant camps because there's so many of these people. How horrifying is that? But that's all I got for this one, folks. I want to thank everybody for watching. And like I said, if you're new around here and you like what I got to say, smash that subscribe button for me. And if you could, as a favor to me, hit that like button for me. It would be a big help and be very appreciated. But thanks for watching, y'all. And y'all have a good one and be positive. Peace.